All right, so I was going to give a thoughtful scripture passage reading, but I realized that I have no longer do I have performance review risk. I don't have to worry about what I say to my boss anymore. So anyway, I had a couple things I wanted to share. Actually, those of you that know me know I could probably go down a long, sappy path, but I'm not doing that tonight. So just a couple things about John. Before he was my boss, of course he was my peer. So I managed the East team, and John, you managed the West team, and Tim, you were in the central part of the team. And if you all saw Harry bowling the other day, how competitive he was, that's nothing compared to this guy. That's nothing. I'll give you a few examples. So we had meetings like this in January, right? About 4 or 5 years ago. And I say to my team, hey, let's meet for breakfast, right? We'll just meet, I don't know, it starts at 8, we'll meet at 7:45. So I walk in there, none of the East team is there. And I see the West team, they're already finished their breakfast, and they're 30 minutes into their Bible study. So I'm like, oh, okay, John, oh yeah, Greg, I've had this plan for 3 months now. Did you not think of that? No, I didn't. I didn't think of that, but thanks, John. This is like, okay. So I said, all right, so the March meetings, we had some March meetings, and I had this great idea. I'm from Philadelphia, I'm going to bring something. I'm going to bring some Philadelphia soft pretzels, and I brought enough for, about 3 people, right? So I get there, I'm like, hey, I have soft pretzels for everybody in the office. And so they're like, oh, we already got this high-end See's chocolates from John from Oakland, California. Did you bring enough soft pretzels for each of us? No, I didn't. We each got chocolates. So I'm like, oh man, I am in serious trouble. I'm 3 months in, and I'm losing big time. So we get to the summer meetings. I'm like, I am going to top this guy. I am so going to, put one over the top. So I said, for an East team meeting, and a lot of you were at this meeting, I said, I'm going to host this thing at Oscar Hammerstein's mansion, where he and Richard Rodgers wrote all of the Broadway musicals. I'm going to host it there. So I call up John. I said, hey, John, we're having our meeting at the Hammerstein mansion. He's like, oh, yeah, great. Well, we're having ours on a beachfront home in Malibu. And we just saw Holly Berry. I am like 0 for 3. Right? But, I'm determined to try to win, right? Because Vicky, I like to win too. And I'm losing big time here. Okay, so we get to the fall time, right? And I say, all right, I'm going to get up early. So I get up at 6:30. I have some scrambled eggs. I go through some email, and it's about 8 o'clock, and I'm just starting to get to work. So I figured I'm calling that guy at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 6 o'clock his time, and I'm going to tell him all that I've done, right? So I call him up, and he answers right away. Hello, hi, it's John. I'm still groggy at 9 o'clock. Hello, it's John. Hey, John, it's Greg. I just wanted to check in, see what you're up to. Oh, so glad you called. And this is kind of what he said. Okay, what have you been up to, John? Oh, yeah, I've been up. I've walked the dogs. I've had quiet time with the Bible. I'm just sifting through emails. And I just finished making myself a Vitamix energy drink. And I'm like, oh, man. So I'm 0 for 4. I'm 0 for 4. So I'm just starting to think I'm never going to be able to top this guy, ever. All right, so then we get to the awards dinner, just like we had last night, right? And most of you will remember this, right? So I talk first, and I say, thank you all so much. I'm Greg with the East team, and I introduce each person to the East team. And then John gets up there. John's like, I just want to, say thank you to my team. And we're not the West team. We're the Balami team. We have a special African name for our West group. Like we're the East team. We're the East has a special Philadelphia name. So I am really, really struggling. Of course, the West team made the goal that year. Yes. Remember East team? Yeah. We had to sit through that night. We had to sit through that night. John was floating with all those Palami team members. Oh, man. So anyway, I thought I was over it, right? I thought I was over it. Tonight, in the limo, in the shuttle on the way over, tonight, I say to some people, hey, does anyone, like John, competitive, can give anything? And one person says to me, oh, remember he used to give gifts to all of his direct reports. And I'm like, wait a minute, I reported to John for a while. Did you tell me that? Yeah, John gave us really nice gifts to his direct reports. And I'm like, wait a minute, okay. So anyway, to the serious, and the last part of what I wanted to say is that I will never forget, it was a fall night, and it was about 9:30, I was in Hilltown, Pennsylvania. My daughter, youngest daughter, was taking piano lessons, and I was waiting in the car, and it was a very cold night, it was about 9:30, and my cell phone rings. And I look down, it's John Yasuda. Okay, he's still working at 6:30 his time. And it's 9:30, and you'll probably remember this. And you said, Greg, there's going to be a position that's going to become available for the Senior Vice President of Resource Development. And I'm really thinking about putting my name in for that position. However, I wanted to check with you, because if you were going to put your name in for that, I wanted you to be able to be recognized and to do that. And I will never, ever forget that gesture. I think that just shows your professionalism, your humility, your genuine love for your teammates and this mission. And I just want to say, you are a competitive guy, but we love you dearly and deeply, everyone in this room. And thank you, John.